Hey, everybody. Welcome to Sim Racing Online's round 5 of the APTORA MAK-CORP Group C Championship. Apologize for that splash screen you saw in the beginning. They're showing that this is round 4. It is indeed round 5 at the marvelous Spa Francorshamps. Today we are going to be treated to some exquisite driving on this epic track. And right now we are just in the throes of practice, getting ready to finish off this last session. And let's have a look at seeing what these guys have been doing. Pick a gander here at a couple of the runners. Maddie Shepard has been leading the board so far with a 2:05.573 is her best time, as you can see up there. She has just been ripping it up through the beautiful spot. She's on the sector 3 of the back stretch here, coming down the Black Mountain, heading into what we have the bus stop. We are on the 88 version of this track, so this does have the epic bus stop. We're going to see a lot of action right here. As you can see, the cars bouncing and bounding through there. It's going to be a heavy battle today. I can tell you that's for sure. We have the race is pretty much Nick Westy's up. I got a 24-point lead on this field here, with Maddie Shepard not too far behind with that 24. But then right behind her is Robin Taylor, who's just 3 points off of second place. And Johnny Gutierrez is another 4 points behind Taylor for that position, as we are here getting ready to throw it into quali. So just in time as we get rolling here. This is going to be a 15-minute session, and it is private. So let's see if we can find a driver here who's going to head out first. Looks like Hytree's heading out in the APTORA skin. He'll be one of the first guys on track. I'm going to bring up their qualifying boxes here. Waiting for the green light. Josh Racing. Now, if I switch it to the driver box, we can actually see the car data and watch some little bit of action. So while they're on their out laps here, let's kind of check that out. Hytree's out. Into El Rouge for the first time. That's a good looking car. And let's see, Nick Westy should be just behind him. There is Westy just behind him. Guys are booting up their tires. Oh, hello, how you doing? I kind of couldn't think that, Apex. Find your way around. Looks like everybody else on our track. There's Johnny Gutierrez, Mark's teammate for Flying Crowbar Racing, in those two beautiful APTORA skins. It's good looking stuff there. Tony Talvitier in that unmistakable Mazda. Another APTORA sponsor skin, very good. John Vandergeest, he's out there too, and another APTORA skin. He is our the admin for this series. He puts all these races together. I got to give him a good big hand there for putting this together for us. And then APTORA, our sponsor, for making this all possible and bringing these broadcasts and everything. So big thanks to them. Here is that Robin Taylor, who is currently third in the championship points. So remember, you only get the top 10 points awarded. So just like Formula One, you gotta be in the top 10 to get any points. So it is possible if Maddie has something in a no finish with 2 races left with that 24-point lead, could be in danger. And I also want to welcome, look at this, Andrew Harper is with us today. Glad to see Andrew making one of the races. Yeah, looks, he's sporting that Mazda as well. So good to see Andrew on the grid. And Philip Pilcher, who we all know and love in the Merc. He is our Merc man. So, ever-present Mercedes with Philip Pilcher at the wheel. And then Michael LaBelle. Team Davey. So he's making his way. Taking it a little easy there. He's driving that Porsche. And then last week we missed our buddy Gills, but Gills is back today, so there he is. Sounds like another Mazda to me. like I said, the old school. Remember, this is the 88 version, so you're going to see curbs like you don't see in the modern version. And you're going to have the bus stop. So it's going to be a heck of a run. Keep it down the list here, Jason Whited. Look at Jason there. He's also in the Porsche. And then Caitlin Penny, I think she's another Porsche driver who has really, really shown some epic driving. Or maybe, is she not in the Porsche? No. Yeah, she's in the Porsche. She just had a bit of bad luck. Just a bit of bad luck in these past. She's been right up there in these past races, but and then yeah, a little bit of trouble. And then we have another new driver, Ted Hugh. There is Ted. He is rocking a Merc as well. So look at Mr. Hugh. Welcome to the series. As finding his way around the twisty turns of Spa. To that mark, you can see that 171. I think this is in miles per hour, not kilometers on this broadcast. So if you see the speedos there, he was up to about $1.75 there. Pretty intense. So yeah, there you have the grid. So let's head on up, back up to Maddie, who I think is on a ripper here. So let's switch it over to the qualifying bus so we can kind of see where she's at. She's purple and purple because no times have been set yet. It looks like she is going to be the first one across. Or is it High Tree? High Tree to Valley. Oh yeah, all those guys were on a row. So Talvitier puts it, I'm sorry about that. Should have known. But Talvitier puts the top time up over a 2:05.367. Immediately, Maddie jumps all over that 2:05.2. So just a few tenths better. Gutierrez, some few seconds off the pace there, as you can see. Let's see. Caitlin's in. Who else is going to cross? Costas. He's in the pits. Okay. LaBelle's come across. Who hasn't? No, Costas, he's not out there. So Taylor's going to come across. He's purple in sector 2. So see what he does in the bus stop here. This bus stop is really going to determine, I think, what kind of times you end up with. You guys can navigate this. As here he comes across the line. Let's see what he can do. Yes, and he does. Bumps himself up into 5th. A nice run for Mr. Taylor. Very well done. And Andrew, he's in sector 1 on a time lap. So let's see. Pilcher's in the pits. And Ted Hugh. Ali Karjahalahate. Sorry about that. Has joined us as well. So some latecomers coming in here. So glad to see that Ollie made it. Looking car there. All right, Ollie. So Maddie Shepherd's still sitting on top. Let's see. I know that she's probably coming up into the last couple of sections, but you can see she's yellow in sector 1. So not in any shape to better her lap on this. So let's jump over to Nick Westy, also yellow in sector 1. So I wonder if these guys have put those soft tires on and spent them already on their first lap, just pushing, because here's yellow and yellow. So let's see, Talvitier, also yellow. So all these guys have slowed down on their second time lap. Interesting to see if anybody got. Gutierrez looks like he had a good first sector, but then he lost a little pace in sector 2. Almost a full second, so he probably had a little bit of it off. But looking at the green, he might have been on pace to at least move himself up. Currently in 4th, though. Really a good position. I mean, these are 90-minute races, so at a track like Spa where there's so much room and the laps are so long, if you're just a few tenths off in every turn, there's just so many turns that you have a chance to make up some time as the race goes on. I know there's been a lot of chatter about the tire types, the softs and the hards. So some guys, I think, who was it last week, made it on a one-stopper, and I think made his tires last, took the hards, and was off pace a little bit in the beginning, but then was able to make it with one stop only and ended up on the podium, I believe. I'll have to look into my memory book here and remember who. Anyway, that was a discussion I heard. As Westy's on another outlap, so it looks like he came in and put some fresh rubber on there, I believe. He's on the softs and low fuel to head back out again because he has put himself on top of just the lap before. And it looks like Maddie has, for some reason or another, left the server. That's what put Westy on top, because Maddie's time was still at a 5.2. And Maddie had either a disconnect or she had to back out really fast. So let's hope that she gets back in time. She's got plenty of time, 7 minutes plus a 5-minute warm up. So let's hope, keep our fingers crossed that she makes it back in here. On that said, that does move Gutierrez up to third. These guys are on fresh outlaps here. So let's see. Ted Hughes in the pits. Philip Putcher's in the pits. Ollie is out, I believe. Let's check on Ollie. I don't think Ollie has a time yet, so he's going to show green in all his sectors. But midway through his lap here. And Maddie is back. All right, good going, Maddie. Glad you made it back. See, she's taken her spot atop the leaderboard with that 205.244. And look at Westy's only like a 10th off, man. And then Salvite's 4/10 off. So holy smokes, this is really, really tight up at the top. Oh, that's not going to help the lap time there. So Ollie's took a little detour before the bus stop. Wow, look at these cars just bouncing through there. That's got to be brutal. 90 minutes of that. It's gonna feel. Let's see where Ollie puts himself. Oh, he does up into the top 10, so good run him. Put him in the 9th. Let's see if anybody's out. Maddie, she's on outlap. Westy should be coming across. Should be his. Yeah, he's on a ripper now. So let's follow Nick here for a full lap and see what he has. All right, he's up the Camel Straight, heading into the Lacombs. Very tricky right here. You got to get it right. Many laps have been ruined right there at the top of the hill. And see the curbs I'm talking about. These curbs are not existent, I think, on the modern track. They laid them down close to more like what you see right there. But back in 88, 90, in 91, all that these guys had to race here. And these curbs were definitely... Uh-oh. Hello, Maddie. We have a complete disconnect. How you doing? Did I lose everything? It looks as though the server has crashed on me. So, hold on a minute. Let me take you back to the intro. Holy smokes, this is the second time this happened. Let me see what's going on here. Hold your dang horses. So the same thing that happened to Maddie, I think, just happened to me. Let me take a minute here to bring this back up. Luckily, it's just towards the end of quali, so. More technical difficulties. Just RF2 doing RF2 things. So bear with me for a minute here. We are just about back here. I am just waiting for a few things to load, and we'll get right back into it. All right, here we go. We are back. Gotta refresh this really quickly. Hold on to your dang horses. Here we go. As we're watching a quick spin out there, back to live action. Get this baby hooked up, and we should be back. Yes, we got that tower. All right. Many apologies for that. But we are back. RF2 doing RF2 things. So I'm wondering if that's the same thing that happened to Shepard. And while we were gone, Johnny Gutierrez has topped the leaderboard as he's parked in the pits. As we are just in time to see the leaderboard there. We are out of time. Yeah, we got, well, there's a minute left or so. Let's see who is still out there. Maddie is out there. See her right there. So let's see what she can do. She's 4/10 off. Look at that. 2:04.74. So he broke the 2:05 barrier, did Gutierrez. And look at that. Maddie and then the Westie, they're still in the 2:05s. So what a ripper by Johnny Gutierrez. Really sorry I missed that. But Maddie, I believe she is going to be putting a test here. So I think she's purple in Sector 2. Oh, she was purple Sector 1. But so showing that she's on an outlap. Let's just see what's up. It could just be a glitch. See what happens when she comes across here. If that fixes it. Oh, it does. Look at that. She beat him out by almost a half a second on the last lap of Wally. She puts herself back on top. Wow, what a lap by Maddie. I'm glad we got back in time to see that. Holy smokes. Oh. Yes, indeed. So there you have it. There is your order. Let me set the starting grid. There we go. That is set. Awesome. Okay. So technical difficulties aside, let's hope that that was the end of that and we don't see any more of that action because we are in for a brilliant race here. And there is your finishing. Let's go. Look at that, the top 10. And then Andrew Harper, LaBelle, 11th and 12th behind these guys. You can see there is the rest of the grid. Ted Hugh, Philip Pitcher, Costas Contazoris, Gil De Silva coming from the bottom up, and Andrew Harper. All right, so as we get ready for the warm-up session, these guys are going to have 5 minutes to get themselves out and fill them up with gas, put the proper tires on, and give it a roll. Hopefully the session will change. We're not going to have any more RF2 things. It looks like I see some movement on the server, but I'm not feeling real optimistic here looking at the clock. It seems to be second time. However, you can see the marker up there on the right-hand side. He is waving a flag, so we do have server activity. I think we are just waiting for the session to roll over into warm-up. So hopefully that will happen here. We got still guys out on lap. That's probably what the issue is. I see. Silly me. I should have known. Guys are still on their laps. They were finishing laps. I think that was the last driver out. Okay, my bad. So now the clock will roll. So we could probably get a pretty good look at this track. There we go. There's a good run at pit lane here. As we get ready for that, let's take a look at the sum of the scoring so you guys can actually see what I was talking about. So you can see Nick Westie up on top there with that 70 points. Maddie Shepard with 46, some 24 behind. And then Robin Taylor just at 43, 3 points off of second place. And then Gutierrez right there looking at a podium if he can have a nice finish in the last 2 rounds of this series. So he's just that 7 points off as Tony Talvitier as well. So you can see that top 5 6, 7, all the way down, yeah, to Matej. They are all capable of getting a podium if they have finished strong in the last two events. And of course, anything can happen at the top. You know, with only the top 10 points paying out, it could be a interesting finish to the championship. So, with that said, these guys are going to get out, get their feet wet, sort of in race conditions. Get rid of this. Have a run at this beautiful 80. This is the 88 version of this track. So I noticed when it was loading. So yeah, it's good stuff. Let's see, we got a couple guys out on track. Tony Talvitier is one of them. Let's see if this might show us. Wondering if we can get a glimpse here as to what kind of tires he's on right now. So it looks like the softs, if this thing's correct, I see an R down there, and I don't think anybody's on rain tires. It's showing for Pilcher, but Talvitier is showing the softs at this point in time. But I don't think that this graphic is correct at this point. So we'll just leave it at that. Kind of get an idea of what's going on here. Throttle and braking miles per hour. So we follow along here. Heading down to Blanchemont into that left-hander, turn 18 on the current course, and then into the bus stop. See how well he takes it. See, everybody's got a little bit of bounce right there, but that looked pretty smooth for Tony. As he's bringing it into the pits, don't get a ticket. That was quite a hasty pit entrance. Let's take a look at Andrew Harper's out there in the APTORA gray and white avant-garde paint job there. Sporting our sponsor on there. Very well done, Andrew. I know Andrew's an excellent painter in his own right. Over all the years, he's made some really nice paints and very well knowledgeable, as is this driver here. Well, Gilles is not out, but Gilles de Silva, another brilliant painter. And there is Pilcher. Come on. We are missing a few drivers this week. Yeah, I don't see any. The MRG guys, Randy Merrick is gone. I think Freddie Hell's gone. Costas is here. So these guys just, real life gets in the way sometimes, and you can't make every race. But yeah, here we are with 2 to go, counting today. And going to miss those guys. Sorry they're not here today, but they do have a representative, so at least that Costas is here for the MRG group. Anybody else? Jacob Smythe is also missing today, so hope everything's okay with all those guys, and we will see them next time. Philip Pilcher in Team Solitude, that's his actual racing team in the league in Sim Racing Online. So there we go. Guys are winding down. Westy's in the pit. Shepard's out on a run. As we are counting down the seconds here to get this baby underway. All right. Who else is out? Jason Whited is still out. That turquoise blue and white Porsche. Very nice. And Harper's on a ripper of a run for himself. He is purple and purple for his own time. Good for him. Kind of pushing it a little bit there. Look at that, 214 he put up there for a practice lap. That's full of gas, and I would assume the hard tire. We just don't know at this point in time. And Ted Hugh, the other Merc driver now, out having some fun, getting that ready. It looks like his warm-up session is over. Taylor's done. Caitlin Penny's still out there in the Porsche. Oh, and there it is. And that's what we've been waiting for. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, for round 5 at Spa. As they've taken the grid for the start. So this is what is a manual formation lap start. So everybody rolls off. We're going to do one complete lap. And then when the leader crosses the line, the race is on. So knowing that, we are going to, I'll give you a quick shot here of today's starting order. There you have Maddie Shepard sitting on pole. Johnny Gutierrez in second with that epic run that Maddie did on the last lap to take it away from Johnny. Then Nick Westy in third, Mr. Taylor in fourth, and Tony Dalavitier bringing up fifth place. John Vander Geest in sixth. A good show for him today. Caitlin Penny takes seventh, and Mark Heitree takes eighth. So these top teners, you know, it's important with that. There's Ollie, Jason White finishing off the top 10, and then Andrew Harper and Michael Lebel starting the second half of the group. Gilles De Silva 13th, Costas in 14th, and Philip Pilcher 15th. Ted Hugh in 16th. And this is the first race for Ted as well as Andrew on their first runs today. So good going today for these guys. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. All I want is the timing. As we're going through the beautiful countryside of Spa Francorshamps. A little bit smaller field today, which should make for some epic racing. Like I said, there are a lot of opportunities at Spa, as it's such a long lap that you know, I get so many turns that you have chances with different sections. With that bus stop, makes it very interesting down there at the end of Sector 3 before the start finish. So really curious to see how these guys get through that the first couple laps when the traffic is tight. And let's just hope everybody gets through the La Source the first time and makes it up to Redalian and El Rouge before anybody, you know, bumps into anybody. Making their way through the sectors, led by Maddie Shepard. Bringing up the rear there. And there is Ted, trail ending it. There's Vander Geest in that 64 APTORA. Caitlin Penny in the Porsche right there with him, and Heitree just behind them. Where's that rear view? There we go. They're tightening up for the start finish. Going through the bus stop. So here we go. We are about to go. So as soon as Maddie gets to that line, it's race on. And look at, like, Westy is looking kind of juicy there. Wait for the green, wait for the green, and green light. Here we go. Race is on. It's ahead into the source for the first time. Under pressure. Let's go. Where's my camera crew? Oh, they're waiting for the old start finish. Okay. That was a smart move. In fact, that was in the notes. So here we go. Now race is on. That got him through La Source without incident. So that was pretty good. Oh, that Rouge. Woohoo! Taking some air. No, man, he hugged it together. This is Nick Westy, who's right there. Trying to put the pressure as they head up the Kemmel Straight. Looking to the inside because it's through the first pass on the first lap of the first race. It looks like he's got the nose and indeed does get that lead away from Matty Shepard. Lap one action right away. You can see Johnny Gutierrez right there trailing behind him. Let's take a look down towards the tail end here. These guys, oh, we got a little incident there. Holy smokes, that's Michael LaBelle. Takes a little bit of a wheel hop. Oh, that was not in the plans. You got it, Michael. Get it back on. You're okay. Looks like there's minimal damage. Oh, man. That was quite tight. Caught that just in time. All right, let's bring up the tower so you can see where everybody is. Give you a little bit of help with that. There's Costas in 12th place. So, holy smokes. The mid-pack battle, though, here continues. So, bring up your battle boxes. All right, there is 5th place, Tony Talvitier and John Vandergeest. They've got the similar skins, so we got to watch out. And that is Caitlin Penny in the Porsche right behind that. And that's Robin Taylor just in front of Tony. So there is Taylor through the trees in 4th position. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3 goes through the screen there. This is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. All pretty tight right here. It's good. Wow. And then, oh, they're making it through there. Okay. Not to be forgotten. They make it through the bus stop here for the first time on Anger. Coming across the line, Westy, Shepard, Gutierrez, and Taylor. Westy said the fastest lap. And this is a move getting made by Tony. Talvitier trying to get around Robin. Almost had the nose there. Now they're going to race it down to El Rouge. Holy smokes, hang on to your dang selves. Taylor and Talvitier. And then just behind them is Ollie. They get through. Here it comes Ollie. Right on the tail. Oh, hang on to it. Giving Hightree the business there. Those guys were nose to tail as Ollie is looking for a way around. It's like, holy smokes. I think Hightree's going to let him go if he gets on the inside. Wow. And that battles all the way through as we're going back to the tail end. Here is the tail end with the De Silva and LaBelle after that little off LaBelle had. So they are duking it out for that spot. Meanwhile, back into this mid-pack race here. Penny in the Porsche with Hightree right behind him. And then Ollie just not having it. It's like, I'm getting through somehow. That Mazda following Hightree very closely. There's the head. To some good racing already. Vandergeest leading this pack, but feeling the pressure from Penny. And then Talvitier and Taylor now have become part of this mix. So we're going all the way from 4th to 9th in this group right here. There is Talvitier and Taylor. That fight. Oh, it's kissing the dirt. It's getting a little dusty back there. Was that Jason? Everybody's good? Did somebody have an off back there? It certainly looked like it. These guys are fighting for it. But meanwhile, up at the top of the front, we have another pass. Looks like the top 3 have caught up to each other's bumper, and we got a race for the first coming right down into El Rouge. With Westy just pulling out, squeaking out that lead. at the pointy end here. Lots of action. There's your top three. Gutierrez right there. See if he can gain coming up the Camel Straight. Who's heavy on the brakes? I heard it from inside scoop that Gutierrez is on the hards. He's going to try and make this last. He might sacrifice a little early speed to have long-lasting effort. So, meanwhile, back here, the battle for the points position. Here we go. We got a pass for 10th place right here. As Costas takes a spot and away from Jason Whited, moves himself up into the points. A nice move coming up the Camel Straight there. If indeed that's where that was. Where am I? Am I lost? Yeah, that's where it was. They're going to Brussels now. Yes, sirree. All right. Meanwhile, Johnny Gutierrez is caught up to Maddie now. So this is the battle for the lead. As third place, Gutierrez. As they're settling in a little bit now. Kind of getting comfortable gaps here. Right behind them is Van der Geest and Taylor. So Van der Geest kind of putting it to Mr. Taylor there. As they make it through Porjon, heading into the campus Essen. All right. As they spread out, heading down the Corbet des Potrières in the Blanchemont. I don't know how to speak all these Belgian French accents. I'm just throwing whatever I got in there. You can see they catch us up right to the curb, and you can see Ollie has gotten around High Tree, and it's now pressuring for this top spot of the 5th, 6th, and 7th right there, crossing the line. Pretty good stuff. There is your leader, Westy. So the gap has opened up a little bit now for Shepard and Gutierrez. But this is the battle here behind you. You can see there's your gap for top three, but here is 4th, 5th, and 6th. A little bit tighter. They make it through El Rouge. Very nicely done. And then not too far behind these guys, we have 11th Andrew Harper making his way through El Rouge. Jason Whited just ahead of him there, so that is the last points position. And then Caitlin is in the pits already, so we've got trouble there. Pictures going around, I'll say. So Caitlin, again, her bad luck continues, and LaBelle has dropped out of the race. He might have taken a little bit too much damage, so we have our first DNF, which would be Michael LaBelle. We're sad to see him out of the race. That was tough. It did take, probably took a little bit of damage from that wheel hop, and maybe just might have had an incident that we missed. But the battle right now is for 5th place, which is currently held by Mr. Taylor. Give you a quick shot of him. There he is, Taylor Van der Geest and Ollie duking it out there for the top 5. As these are a bunch of... Ollie is just making... Oh, we've got contact again. And Van der Geest is saying, hey, man, what the heavens of Betsy's going on here, dude? He shuts the door on him. There's a little bit of door banging, so... Ollie must have had a couple of cups of coffee this morning. He is ready to get through all these guys. So does he have the pace to actually get around? And Van der Geest just slams the door shut on him. So maybe that, calm him down a little bit as the gap grows a little bit more here. But let's see, Ollie is coming. He's coming again. Coming in through the bus stop. Oh! Curve hopping little son of a gun. Heading into La Source. He's trying to look on the outside. He gets the nose, but Van der Geest has the underside. Keeps him in position, but it's going to be a drag race. Oh, this is getting scary. Anything can happen here. Van der Geest is setting the door on him. He's off the walls. Wow. These guys are very aggressive for the first part of this race. I think Van der Geest was sending a little message there to Ollie. It's like, I'm not going to open this door for you. So Ollie was just trying to shove his way through there. So maybe step back a little bit, take a breather. This battle for 6th place. Woo! Just behind him, we got High Tree. right there with Costas right behind him. So we got the battle for 8th and 9th. This right behind him there. And then towards the rear, here's De Silva's looking like he's going to be heading for the pits. He's missing a little bit of body work there. So there's a yellow out as we head back to the pointy end. As Westy's lead has grown to 1.5 seconds. So the gaps continue to grow like we expected on such a long lap. But meanwhile, we do have some position battles going on here. Cantazores is trying to find a way to get up into 7th position and take those vital points away, but it's a long way to go to be fighting like this already. I mean, let's get through the first tire stint anyway before you start pushing. And what happened to Ollie? So Ollie has dropped back. I wonder if Ollie took a little bit of damage when he kissed the wall there when he was trying to get through coming down into El Rouge, and when he got picked off the wall. Yes, indeed. Look at that. He is missing some body work. So that explains that. He probably has 0 front downforce. So I would expect Ollie to come into the pits. I did not see anything come off as we were all watching. Nope, he's staying out. Look at that. He's going to keep it out there. Guess he figures he's better off keeping laps going at this point in the race than to spend the time to... Oh, he is repairing. My bad. I forgot what pit it is with this older track. I expected it right up. So Ollie's coming in, put some new parts on, get himself a new hood and some front downforce again. So the second pit driver, and we've got a couple of more DNFs. So Whited is out and Mr. Hugh is out. So tough to see Ted out on his first run here. Woo, Jesus Christ. Wow, that first 15, 20 minutes. Oh, we got a little bit of overheat going on there from Mr. Costas. So either, I don't think that was brake smoke. I think he's got the radiator shut. Let's keep an eye on him. Whew, that was up the Kemmel Straight, so really, put to the floor there. So we'll come back to him when he hits the Blancmont back to 16, 17, and 18 stretch where you're on the throttle. See if he smokes it up there. But in the meantime, here's your gap. It's 3rd and 2nd. And then right behind them, Vandergeest and Taylor duking it out after the Ollie incident. All right. So let's see. Did Ollie came out? He's back in action in 11th place, so he's just a little bit off the points. 1 position off the points, but he's a good ways behind Pilcher here. So yeah, and Pilcher's by himself in Team Solitude there, some 12 seconds behind that next points pink position. So the battle right now, the closest one we have is Taylor and Vandergeest as they're coming through for yet another lap. Vandergeest looking for any kind of a break here. The hit into Redalin. Let's see what kind of 194. A little bit of a lip there to get ready for the turn. All right. So here his Gutierrez is caught up to Shepherd's Tail. So let's get a look at that. Get an idea of the current speeds through those turns. Remember again, this is in miles per hour. So 3 DNFs so far. As we jump back to this battle here for 5th, Taylor holding on. You see the speed difference there. Look at that, showing forward. Gaining that speed into the bus stop there. All right, I want to see, I want to watch Vandergeest on the way up the hill here. See if he keeps his foot in it. You can see the gap down there. These guys might be needing a slight lift. Just a slight lift, not too much. And it looks like he's got a little bit of a run. Oh, we got somebody up to the side there. Oh no, was that Penny? I believe that was Caitlin. No, maybe. Was it Talvitier? Oh my gosh, I think it was. Tony. Where are you, Tony? Might have been Talvitier. Oh, what a heartbreaker. As they're dropping like flies here today. Good heavens. What a nightmare for Talvitier and Penny, as well as Hugh Whitted and LaBelle, all out of this race. As Ollie sets the fastest lap out of the pits. So he probably took new tires and everything as he got his body work, I would think. I don't know, man, but I'm really bummed. De Silva's in the pits, so he, I think, is either getting some repair or getting some rubber. So De Silva's keeping it real, coming out. So Gills is back in. All right. Westy's still leading this race, and he has quite the gap now. It's almost 3.5 seconds. So Mr. Consistent leading the points, leading the race. Matty Shepard still hanging in there. He's keeping within the same zip code. And Johnny Gutierrez is right there. Robin Taylor's just kind of by himself in fourth here, getting a little bit of the business. Just behind him is this battle with Costas and Vandergeest. As you can see how tight they are. They are catching Mr. Taylor there. And it looks like, where is Mr. Costas? Going to be a race down through Redalian. Up the hill and hard on the gas. See, these guys are pretty tight in front of him there. So Vandergeest is hanging right there. He's taking a look, you know, he's just peeking it in there. There's within a second. No DRS in these babies, or he would have been using it. But of course, this is the era of no DRS. No DRS, excuse me. As we are currently representing this series from the 90s. So good battles here still in this top 5, 4, 5 to 6 is the tightest battles going on, and all these unfortunate DNFs. It's really sad to see Tony, Caitlin, Ted, Jason, and Michael out of this race. Vandergeest just with Cacciatore just all over him and taking the spot away. So now he has dropped that spot to Costas, who's just got around him as we just witnessed. Now he's coming for Taylor. There is, excuse me, down through the Blancmont, heading into the bus stop. Wow, 5 DNFs already. We haven't even done the first 30 minutes. So the track is taking it to these guys today. This group is just bunched up for this 4th, 5th, and 6th spot. Look at the gain he's got on him. He's looking to the inside, but there's just no room at this point. There is Vandergeest hanging on to 6th. Let's take a look at Ollie here. I think he has the fastest lap of the race with a 2:06.7. This is Ollie. We watched him have to pit after quite aggressive in that first 15-20 minutes of the race. I mean, you know, it is a race. You're trying to gain position. So as he's coming up on Pilcher, Team Solitude's about to get a little... Oh, what the heavens to Betsy was that all about? Oh, I'm so glad that Philip did not spin. That almost looked like a pit move. As Ollie's aggressively making his way up. But meanwhile, up at the top, we've got things tightened up here. Things have tightened up in the top 5. Johnny Gutierrez, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all within a few seconds of each other now. As we're seeing Gutierrez chasing Shepard. And then right behind them comes Taylor. Oh, we've got a spin right behind that. Was that High Tree? No, who was that? Vandergeest. Oh, Vandergeest with a spin. Ping pongs it off the walls. Is he got control? How's he doing? Has he got steering? It appears to be straight. Looks like he's taking the curves aggressively. He's staying out. So, excuse me. Wow, tough break for Vandergeest down there as we just saw the tail end of that spin. That's going to drop him down. And High Tree still quite... There's High Tree. So there is now the gap for 6th and 7th. So Vandergeest really didn't lose a spot there, but I don't think it... Maybe the car didn't get hurt, but I think he probably had his feelings hurt a little bit there. But meanwhile, where is Mr. Aggressive Ollie? Holy smokes. He's plowing his way through the field, and I mean plowing. Good night now. Whoa, hang on to it. All right, so meanwhile, the top 3 are all within a couple seconds of each other. So this is Maddie Shepard currently in 2nd. You can see Westy just ahead, and there is Gutierrez just behind. So Gutierrez closing in on him a little bit. Here is Westy. There's the gap to 2nd and 3rd from your leader. And De Silva is now out, so we have our 6th DNF. Holy smokes. Well, kind of sad. But the good news is for everybody left in the race gets the point because there's only 10 left and we're paying down to 10 spots. So good night now. Okay, back to the pointy end. Things are getting a little messy here as we're coming up on the first 30 minutes. We're only 1/3 of this race and we've lost 1/3 of the field almost. So there's Gutierrez's view, chasing down 2nd place. Let's see how Johnny does up the hill here. As he goes through El Rouge, I'm going to see what it's a slight lift, or if he keeps his foot in it. Yep, just a little bit of a lift for these cars. You can't quite keep it on the throttle. Woo, hang on. There we go. And he gets blistering by. He's going to get the spot for Maddie. So Gutierrez going for the long run with the hard tires. He's making it work. After 30 minutes, he has taken over 2nd place from Maddie Shepard. You saw it right there up the hill. So there is your new third place driver, Matty Shepard, now chasing down Gutierrez, who's got Westy in his sights. So let's see if this hard tire pays off in the long run. It might be able to catch Westy before a pit stop. We shall see. Meanwhile, Costas just behind us, the Costas battle, and Taylor. Vandergeest now kind of out of the picture after that off he had, but currently still holding on to 6. So let's hope that John can just maintain his race, because we've got some serious stuff going on here. Another Taylor defending, Costas attacking. You really got to stay off these curbs. I think these curbs are one of the reasons there's a lot of all these DNFs as well. It's just treacherous. As Robin gets to stretch it out a little bit there, but you can see Costas closing in. As they're heading down Black Wall. Looking to the inside, it is a tight turn coming up here, coming into the bus stop. So if Taylor just keeps him behind him into the bus stop, he's looking for the inside gap. He's got a nose, he's got a wheel, he's going to be some contact, a little bit of contact. Oh, beautiful defense by Taylor, giving it everything he has to stay in front. Just some really good racing there, door banging. Nice defense there by Mr. Taylor. Let's see what happens coming up the hill now, because it does appear that Costas has a little bit of juice on him. Get that gap. Over a second now. Just a slight lift there for Costas. Is this? I think this top speed, I think Costas might have a little bit less wing. Closes it up there coming up the straights. So if Taylor has an advantage at all, it appears to be in the turns. If indeed it is an advantage. His other advantage is brilliant defensive driving. So look at Costas is just putting the pressure, relentless pressure on Taylor, and he's up for the task. Looking again, taking a look again. Keep it off each other, guys. As they're heading into campus. Got the inside, but Taylor's got that racing line. Keep that inertia up, keep that momentum. You know, Costas kind of looks to the inside, but that takes him off the ideal line and lets Taylor just hold that little bit of a gap by keeping that nice momentum through that turn, hitting the apex. And, you know, you give it up, try to have a look inside, you're going to put yourself out of position. But this is where it gets tight. This top speed here of Costas, making Taylor work for holding on to that position. That is that 4th place position. So they're going to cross the line again. No change. Meanwhile, Gutierrez is second. Here is your leaders. There's Westy just in front. There's Westy. And there are the top 3 right there with Matty Shepard. And then it's just right back to this battle. These guys are some 5, what are they? A few seconds back, like 23 seconds off the leader. Let's go to the gap to each other here. I'm going to change the gaps down to the car in front. So, oh, who is that? Costas. Costas. We missed the off. Oh, that high tree gets by. Where is Ollie? Way back. So, holy smokes. He's got a half a minute gap as the first 30 minutes have expired. And look at this crazy business that's been going on in the mid-pack here. So Costas gets it all wrong coming up the Kemmel Straight, allowing High Tree and Vandergeest to get through. So, that was some epic battles going on there. I'm sorry that we missed the details on that. But let's see, is he driving okay? He's got a little bit of bend in the wheel. Well, it looks to be going all right. I think he's okay. I think he just had a moment there. So now he will be pursuing Mr. Hightree if indeed he's in good shape still. All right, well, let's take a look from the bottom up. We're going to jump around here to Mr. Pilcher. There is Philip, currently in 10th. Andrew Harper just ahead of him in 9th in that Mazda. And there is Ollie after the pit for damage. He's closing in on that gap to Andrew Harper for 9th. The gap is currently 6.5 or so seconds, almost 7. So let's kind of keep an eye on that and see if that closes, because Costas, or Ollie, I'm sorry, has been really putting in some pace laps with his aggressive driving style. And meanwhile, here we are with Hightree. Did Costas get around Hightree? He just did, didn't he? So Hightree must have had a moment, because Costas has now just got past him. Wow, I'm just off on all these maneuvers. I'm just trying to check where everybody is, and I lost a position change. So Hightree giving 6th back to Costas. So that's telling me Costas has no damage. And Hightree, I believe Hightree is on the same schedule as Gutierrez. I think they're both running hard. They're going to make a stick, because we see some tire smoke up there from Costas. Hightree gets through it, and might be struggling a little bit there. I'm telling you, these cars are a handful. But, okay, let's go to the pointy end, because Gutierrez has got it down under 2 seconds to the leader, Nick Westy. So, is the hard tire gamble starting to pay off after the first 30? We will see the paces and the current laps. Let's see if we can get the lap times. The last lap time. That'll show up in your little box down there. So Westy's lap last time was a 2:08, and Gutierrez's show his last lap time. Not going to show it. See if you can close that gap a little bit. As Westy's just extending. Look at that. The West End. Hard to close a gap. That guy's got that much speed on you. All right. Let's go back to this. Connosaurus is now catching back up to Vandergeest. So this is a familiar battle from the first 15 minutes of the race. Because he's got it to just about 2 seconds, so definitely closing the gap. There it is, coming up Camel. Oh, and we can see there's a little bit of overheat going on, so that's telling me that there's a lot of tape on Costas' radiator. So that could explain some of that speed, but is that going to hurt him in the end? We just don't know until the end, so we got to watch him for overheating. Meanwhile, let's check the gap. Ollie had. Okay, so Andrew Harper, that's the gap to him. Where's Hightree? So I'm trying to get Ollie's gap to Hightree, but we'll have to show it up in here. Yeah, gap to next, so you're looking right at it. So there's a good third of a lap gap to Hightree. But meanwhile, Costas has gotten around Vandergeest. God dang it, I just missed that pass too. Sorry, everybody. I didn't think he was going to catch him that fast, but apparently he did. So Vandergeest hanging on. It's just given 5th place to Costas, who had that off, gave everybody positions, all the way down to 7th, I think he went, or 8th. Yeah, it was 7th. And now he's found himself back into 5th, so he has some serious pace in this race. He does, however, have that radiator down pretty tight, so have to watch him for overheating. Meanwhile, Westy and Gutierrez, there is the gap to the lead, so some 2+ seconds. And Maddie's by herself in 3rd. And Vandergeest trying to stay with Costas here to see if he's got anything for him. They're up the Kemmel Straight. Got to stay up those curbs. Good job, Vandergeest, keeping it straight there. Holy smokes. Those curbs have cost a lot of people. So he's got to close the gap here a little bit on these turns, so he might, excuse me, have a little bit more wind than Costas, but Costas just be able to run away from him on the straights a little bit. So we shall see. So these are the 2 tight battles, and we got, let's get back up to 1st and 2nd here. Gutierrez gotten under 2 seconds now. Now he's under a 2nd. Oh, and Wesley has a little bit of an issue there. That's going to close that gap. This is going to make it really tight. Coming across the line, hitting into La Source. This could be something to watch right here. He's under a 2nd now. It's just a half second down. I think Johnny did mention, I think he's using a little bit more downforce than he's used to. He wanted a little high downforce, and he's got the hard tires, so. You can see that gap starts to grow on the straight, so. There, a little bit more top end speed for Westy on the straights, but I think Johnny's being able to catch him here in the turns with a little bit more downforce as Westy's tires begin to wear a little bit. So I think that's where we're seeing the difference. And I know Gutierrez's gamble is on outlasting the field with the hard tires and trying to make those tires last. And Gutierrez is a bit of a tire whisperer. He's amazing. He was talking about how in the last race he saw the one tire was wearing, so he changed his driving style just a little bit to have less wear on that left front and to make it last. So some crazy stuff going on there. So looking like they're having a little bit of a fight here. This is where he catches him, see? And we've got a battle going on for 9th and 10th. Harper and Pilcher back there, but I'm not gonna miss this action. Of course, this is Westy's sweet spot now. As Canton Norris pulls into the pits. So Cantazaurus with his pit stop is probably going to do a one-stopper. But you can see this is where Westy kind of gets away. We've got some smoke up here. What's going on? Who are we catching? Who are we catching? Name tags. Who is that? Okay, that is the 10th position of Pilcher. So lap traffic here coming up. He's going to let the blue flaggers get the blue flag and then the leaders go. That does pay into Gutierrez's hands a little bit. Just that little bit of traffic, allowing Johnny to stay with Westy. And we've got more lappers in front. That up in front. Okay. It's Gutierrez gets the top and just goes right by him on the straight, but here he's going to come right back from him with his speed, using the lap traffic as a pick. Does the pick play? Can he hold on the inside? They don't hold. Oh, and it's going to send him Gutierrez around. Oh, man. Oh, the action continues. Oh, Johnny took a look inside, but that top speed, and this is going to pull Matty right into it. Let's hope he doesn't have the flat spot. Can't tell from here. But Matty's taking a look now. Wow, that spoiled all that. Oh, it's taking it on the outside. Matty's on the inside. Oh, man, that was just tough luck. I didn't see anything intentional there. It's just two guys trying to fit into the room for one car. You can't put two cars in that spot. Westy has that top speed advantage as Gutierrez got by him through the lappers. But then the top speed of Westy brings him back up just a nudge and tries to hold that inside, forcing Gutierrez into that uncomfortable position, making him have to adjust, and a little bit of contact, and the spin results in no more battle for first. Now he's hanging on to keep Shepard behind him. Oh my goodness. Woo! That was something else. And here is Matty. There is a lap car between Westy and Matty now, I believe. I don't think that's Westy up there. So all that hard work, patience that Gutierrez had, yeah, that's a lap car, but Westy's just in front of the lapped car, so you'll be able to just get a brief glimpse of him up here. Here's Westy coming up the top of El Rouge already. And then Johnny and Matty just now taking a Rouge. So there is your gap. The 9-second gap. Wow. Most unfortunate. But plenty of race left. The Shepard's taking a look at the same thing now, forcing Gutierrez to defend on that inside line, which is not ideal heading into that. After full speed coming up the Kemmel Straight, and then having this block from the inside does take you out of the apex. So does give an advantage to the car behind, as these guys are coming up on Andrew Harper now. He's holding his own in 10th position. As he's letting the leaders through. Nicely done. Good heavens. And I think we got one more in front of him, which will be Pilcher, who's the next lap car for Gutierrez and Shepard to pass. And meanwhile, Ollie, he's closed that gap. Ollie's currently in 7th. The High Tree currently in 6th. So holy smokes. But anyway, back to this Gutierrez battle as they are coming through the picks of the lap traffic. And that is Pilcher there in the Merc. Oh! Man, these guys just put a wheel in the dirt, and I think it's going to be a disaster. These guys are just white knuckles the whole way through here. As Pilcher's making it tight here, Matty's looking for a way to get through. As Pilcher pulls into the pit, this is going to open the door. Matty's taking the inside of the LaForce, putting the nose in and getting around as Gutierrez pit. Okay, so Gutierrez coming off of the hards, probably going to go hards again. Going on a one-stopper, I believe, was his tactic. That gives way to Shepard, some 10 seconds off the lead now. So Gutierrez dropping down the field, sitting in the pits, as well as Robin Taylor, who also pitted. So these two guys are pitting for points paying position. So there you have that. Let's see where Ollie and these guys are. Now, looking at, is at Gutierrez still in? So that's telling me he's taking fuel and tires. I was looking for the quick stop to see if it was just a gas only, but nope. I think he's changing the rubber. Probably that battle up at the top when he had that slide may have given him a little bit of flat spots. Who knows? We'll find out later as they're still in the pits. And this is going to put Ollie is going to be through the bus stop. Is that going to put him ahead of Gutierrez as well? Gutierrez is still in the pits, and here comes Ollie in that Mazda, and Gutierrez coming out. Oh, this is going to be close. Gutierrez has the shortcut to the pit out, and Ollie's got to take the turn. So here it is on the gas. Ollie's going to have the momentum, and he goes blasts right by him. However, Gutierrez is now on fresh rubber. So we'll see what happens if he can pace himself. Taylor's still in the pits. That's bumping Heitre and Vandergeest up into the position as Vandergeest finds himself now in third, but he has yet to pit. So let's see if this will show the number of pit stops. There you go. Gutierrez, Cantasaurus, and Taylor all have pitted. So that kind of shows that. If it's correct or not, I don't know. Oh, hang on to it. Johnny on fresh rubber. But heat those babies up. There is the gap, some about 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Westy comes out into the pits. I'm sorry, puts Maddie back in first over. There's your leader pitting. First up, that's put Shepard in the lead with Vandergeest some half a minute behind. So the gap to the podium is huge at this point. However, Vandergeest is holding on to it, but he's going to have to pit as well. So kind of see where everything shakes up coming out of the pit stops as Costas does have the fastest stop in the race. Here he is there with a 2:05.96. So as the fuel runs down, these guys are getting some little quicker laps, but of course, at this point in the race, they need to fill it up again to finish. So that was probably a low fuel lap towards the end there. They got him. That 205, but we've got another car going around. It's Johnny Gutierrez, loses it, gets it all wrong. Come on, Johnny, get it together. Wow. On his first lap out on fresh rubber, gets it all wrong and sends it. Holy smokes. Does he have too much damage? Is he going to have to pit? Let's see. He looked like he hit pretty hard. He's staying out. Good night now, Mr. Gutierrez. Probably on that fresh hard rubber. Nasal good lap and a half, 2 laps to get up to temp. Wow. So Maddie Vandergeest now in second. Yet to pit. Heitre in third, yet to pit. Some 10 seconds off of that. So Westy comes out in fourth position. Some 10 seconds ahead of Ollie, who's got that ripping aggressive pace. So we just don't know. Wow. Things have really shaken up here. So the gap, Shepard, let's put the gap to the leader here so we get an idea what's going on here. So just for giggles, there's 30 seconds from second to third, and Vandergeest is pitting right now. Okay, Heitre is 30 seconds. He's going to pit. But Westy, who our leader, just about a minute 20 seconds, almost a minute and a half behind the leader after the pit stop. So that's about right for a pit stop. So when Shepard pits, this could put Westy back in the lead. Oh no, it's a 2+ minute lap, 2:05-ish, so 120 seconds. It's gonna be tight. The leader. So Heitre and Vandergeest both in the pits, so they're, and then here comes Westy. So Westy is gonna get those 2 spots back as he runs through right now. He's taking he will take third and put himself in second place as he gets around these 2. So there is your gap, 77 seconds. So it's about a pit stop gap, maybe a little less. So that tells me he's going to come back out. But then, of course, look at Ollie. And remember, Ollie had that pit stop through the damage. So who knows if he's going to try and hang on. He's sitting on the podium right now. And just some 5 seconds back of him is Costas, who has pitted. So I believe he's got the tires. He's got what it takes to finish. And meanwhile, so this battle now, we got Taylor and Heitre. What happened here? We got them. Where is it? Who's in the pit? Vandergeest and Heitre still in the pit. Okay, so Taylor currently in 6th behind Gutierrez. So, wow, the pit stops have really shooken this race up. It's Vandergeest and these guys still in there, so heavens to Betsy, you can also see Harper in the pits as well. So quite the lengthy pit stops here. She's telling me tire and rubber as you're looking at your temporary leader, Maddie Shepard, yet to pit. And that's, she's out there just by herself, that 70-second gap, 76. When we see if that gap starts coming down, she might think about pulling in ASAP before Westy gets up to speed and starts breaking into that 75 seconds there. Because she needs every second of that to allow for the pit stop. So that 75, see if it starts coming down. As you can see the gap there to Ollie. 14 seconds. Then Costa. So keeping an eye on Maddie here. See if they're gonna, that 75 is maintaining. It hasn't grown, it hasn't shrunk either. It's going to 76. So Westy's probably not quite up to speed on the new tires yet. However, his pace was so brisk, let's say, in the start that we know how that went. Meanwhile, Vandergeest has caught Pilcher. It's closing in, so trying to get a spot back from Phillip to move him up into 7th. And let's check on Maddie again here, the gap. So 74, 75, right around the same. It's come down a little bit. As Vandergeest takes a move here, makes a move on Phillip. And Vandergeest setting this up for the bus stop. Pilcher gets a really good exit out of there. So here comes an attempt. Not going to happen on this lap. And then where is Hightree? We're just behind these guys. So there's Hightree. He's only some 3 seconds back of Vandergeest. And then the Gutierrez has caught Taylor. Taylor's catching Gutierrez, rather. Things are about to get tricky here. Shepard still out. Comes through Brussels. Out on that lap. Vandergeest and Pilcher, here we go. And coming up and coming straight, so he's going to get around the Mercedes. Vandergeest moves himself up into 7th. And then Hightree's next. Taking a look there. He's got Pilcher in his sights. So Hightree taking a look here, trying to get yet another spot. Could this be the area? This is really tough here. And then the Savlotte Curve de Palfrière. However the heavens to Betsy, you're supposed to say it. But I think whoever's got the better rubber is going to have the advantage here. It looks like Hightree's got a little momentum coming out of that. Pilcher defending, hanging on. See if they get out of the Palfrière coming out of this little section here. If Hightree's going to have the horsepower to get around. This is Keys looking to the inside. It's hard on the fuel right here. You're just full throttle to hit the apex on this way out. Setting yourself up for this. It's turn 17 and 18 down the Blancmont. Pilcher seems to do really good in this section though, in that Mercedes. As you can see, he kind of opens the gap up a little bit, but into the bus stop. Hightree tightens it up a little. And then that little bit of chicane at the end there. He's looking to get on the inside. Gonna come out of it. Who's gonna come out of it? Looks like High Tree comes out ahead, coming into the Honda La Source. High Tree makes the move and comes out, gaining up another spot into 8th. So well done, Mr. High Tree. All right, position gain. Now, meanwhile, we've got Ollie and Costas. Costas seems to have closed the gap to within a second now. So remember, Ollie pitted some in that first 30 minutes, so his tires might be getting old. That he had to do all that body work. You can see the speed difference between Costas and Ollie. But judging by what I've been seeing happen, this is not going to be an easy pass for Costas if he indeed gets up to his tailbone, because Ollie is quite aggressive on holding and taking positions. So curious to see what's going to happen heading into Redalian here. We'll be able to find out now who's got the speed advantage. The gap's closing. It's closing. Closing still. Closing still. He's looking to the inside. Ollie's got the apex. Nicely done. Very clean, gents. Nicely done. Ollie holding that apex beautifully, keeping Costas from taking advantage. That's what I want. There we go. There's the view from Ollie's tail. He opens up that gap a little bit. The really strong sector there for Ollie is that Le Combes and Brussels coming through all that. He's really, really quick through there. But I think where Costas catches is on the straights, because remember, Costas has that low radiator. We've seen him starting to overheat a little bit coming up the Kemmel Straight. So I think that Costas' advantage is on the straights and Ollie's advantage is in the twists. He says, look at this speed difference. Holy smokes, he's going for it right here. And he does get it. Wow. Wow. Let it run, and that's going to send Ollie up. Oh, Ollie, stay with it, bro. Stay with it. All right. Woo. He probably was just as amazed as the rest of us, and then just sent him off into the wilderness. As Costas just flew by him coming out of the Blanchemont. I can see he has that top end speed advantage. Good night now. Does Ollie have anything for him? Because I think here, in again, into the advantage, Costas on the straights. You can see those. Yeah, the gap is just growing on the stretch. But look at, there's the smoking seat. That's the gamble, man, with 30 minutes left. You can tell Costas, he's got that thing all taped up for speed. Oh, and he's lost it. And that's going to give the spot right back to Ollie. Costas has lost it. He took that too much of that speed. That overheating threw him right into the top end of the Lacombe's. Lost it in Lacombe's and gave the position right back to Ollie. So that's going to make Ollie happy. But what a tough break for Costas. Oh, we just barely caught the tail end of it. Man, I wish I would have been on him for that. Wow. So all that for nothing as he just throws it away up the top into Les Gomes, giving that hard-earned spot back. Meanwhile, just behind these guys, you've got the Gutierrez and Taylor battle. So these guys have tightened it up. So Taylor has caught Gutierrez. Close that gap within a second. And hopefully, Johnny Gutierrez has settled down after that pit stop first lap incidents that he had there. He's probably kicking himself. Bouncing off the curbs a little bit. So yeah, it looks like, well, this is the closest race we have right now. I do want to jump down here. Come from the bottom up, take a look at, here's Andrew Harper in 10th. I believe that's High Tree. Who is that? There's 10th place, however, and that is High Tree and 8th. So the lap traffic, and here's High Tree right there. And 8th, come on, hang on to it, Mark. Oh my gosh. Got a little bit of lag issues. I can see a little bit of lag going on there. Harper's letting him through. He's just doing his job as a good back marker, holding his position. He's in the points for his first lap around. Oh, who's in the pits? Costas is in the pits. No, Kajahari's in the pits. It's Ollie who's in the pits. Yeah, I knew it. He needed that. Remember, he pitted very early, so all that battle going on, and his tires, I'm sure, were spent. And that's going to put Costas back in third as we see him overheating there, as usual. You can lay out of it a little bit now, no pressure. Man, that was some really good stuff. Really good show they gave us there for a minute. Okay, back to the top. So Westy back in the lead as we missed all that pit stop drama, but I'm sure Shepard has now pitted and is some 13 seconds off, so that was the difference. I mean, I think the gap was 7.89 before the pit stops from Westy to second place, which at that point in time was Gutierrez. But since then, Shepard has taken over second place all by herself. And now here's Westy out in front. Just got to, you know, hit your marks these last 30 minutes. Just hit your apexes, hit your braking points, and just finish this race in good shape. And meanwhile, okay, positions are getting swapped back here as Ollie gets through the pits. So High Tree gets 7th back. Vandergeest gets 6th back. Taylor's in 5th. Gutierrez in 4th. Pilcher now pitting. Okay. So I believe Ollie's coming out now. Should be rolling out. So into 8th position. And Pilcher, who's in the pits in front of him, so if Ollie can get around, there's no way he's going to be able to get past him. But I mean, it's showing a high gap now to High Tree, some 15 odd seconds. So meanwhile, Gutierrez by himself in 4th. So decent points paying position for today. But man, if these guys can't do anything about Westy, he's going to get all those first place points, and that's going to ice it for the championship, I believe, because he's already got a 24-point lead. To remember from the point. So if he can get another win, it's going to ice it. Get a good look at Gutierrez there, keeping it alive. Yep. You see Taylor just take Taylor gonna take a little bit of shortcut there. See if we can close that gap down. The stewards are not gonna like that very much, so we will see what happens here. Did close that gap to just under 4 seconds now, almost at 3. Let's go from the bottom up. We got Andrew Harper currently in 10th. Pilcher in 9th, who's out of the pits now. Ollie in 8th, coming out with fresh rubber. And he is only 13 seconds off of High Tree. So High Tree's going to have to pay attention here this last 25 minutes. It's a 13-second gap. So, yeah. He's got about 12, 13 laps remaining maybe at 2+ minutes a lap with 25 minutes, so he's got to gain about a second a lap to have a shot at High Tree's position. But and High Tree, who's on he's got 2 or 3, 4 laps on his tires. So you can see now Ollie's going to make his way through Andrew there, who is a couple laps down from the lead. So he's going to get around that back marker. But meanwhile, Johnny Gutierrez and Taylor All right, as these guys make it through El Rouge, Gutierrez has a pretty good gap there. Let's check on the Shepherd gap. Has it grown? Yes, it went from 13 to 19. So Westy's pulling away. Gutierrez, some 20 seconds off. So the difference is about the same. Look at that. So let's go gap to next. See, there are your gaps to next driver. So Shepherd to first place is 19. Gutierrez is some. Oh, is he that far back? He is, isn't he? Him and Taylor are going to battle, but he's got 30 seconds to third place. That's what those little offs cost you as time builds up. On these long laps, you know, you miss a couple of apexes, you lose a couple seconds here, a couple seconds there. So Costas is now in the pits, and that lets Ollie back by. So here he comes now. He's coming out. There's no threat from Pilcher. I see some 25 seconds. So Costas. Wow. Has cost himself those positions. I guess if you run out of fuel, you run out of tires, you're going to have to stop. But now the gap to Hightree is half. It was what, 12 seconds, is now 8. So he's gained about 4 seconds on this with 22 minutes remaining. So at this pace, Ollie's going to have a shot at that 6th position. So Hightree's going to have to start hitting his marks. Here he is. Look at the last lap time for Hightree was a 2:10. The last lap time for Ollie. Current speeds. Kind of get an idea there. The speeds, who's slower, who's faster. Now he's closing that gap, man. He is coming. Ollie is coming. Is he going to be able to catch him, and is he going to spend all his tires trying to get there? Because he is a man on a mission. Okay, meanwhile, we got the battle here for third. Taylor has caught up to Gutierrez. So this is the battle for the last step on the podium. And Taylor is coming for Gutierrez. And remember, I think Gutierrez is on the hard tires. So if Taylor could be on the softs, but he's got to be able to push, catch, and make his tires last. If Johnny's is indeed on the hards, then Taylor might spend what he's got in tire to catch him and then not have enough to hold on to it. So let's see if this thing even works. Let's see with the tires. So I'm thinking the R must be the regular tire. And Taylor is indeed, it does say R. Get it out of the shadows there. Vandergeest is on softs. Shepherd. So I believe these guys are all on hards. So except for Vandergeest showing the soft tire. Maybe we can change the view a little bit to see. Yeah. Who else is on softs? So Vandergeest is on softs. Karshiani's on softs. And Harper's on softs according to this thing. So I don't know how true that thing is. But anyway, there's your gaps. Taylor is definitely gaining. Meanwhile, let's see how Ollie's doing on Hightree. He's got it down to 4 seconds. So like I said, this is a battle. He is coming. So Hightree's got his work cut out for him to hang on. And then Taylor, here is the podium battle. So last 20 minutes of round 5 are upon us. And Mr. Taylor has caught Mr. Gutierrez. So now, does Johnny have anything to hold him off? Or is he going to let him through and then hope that the last 20 minutes of this race wears out Mr. Taylor's tires? I believe they're both on the same compound, though. And Scott, who had the pressure stop. And Johnny did have that spin, so he might have a little bit of damage. He might have a little bit of body damage, something holding him back at top end speed. I just don't know. From the cameras, we really can't tell. From the onboards, we really can't tell. So that gap is pretty tough. And meanwhile, now we get. So Catasaurus has the fastest lap, 2:05.2. So he's currently back by he's 22 seconds back of Ollie though. So I don't know if he's going to have enough time to catch him. But meanwhile, this battle here is for some position on the podium. You get to stand on the podium right here for this fight. So Gutierrez is going to give it everything he can to stay and get those valuable points. Seems to be maintaining it right now. It's jumping between 2 and 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Ollie screws himself enough. That's going to help High Tree's efforts. But he has got down to 3 seconds. But he did make a mess of things right there. So I'm thinking Ollie has a lot of downforce. Just by the way his car is so fast, but yet he's all over the place in the turns. But you can see the difference there. That is the gap to 6th place High Tree, as Ollie is making a run for it. Meanwhile, Taylor closing that gap. Going to come up to just being about 1.5 seconds. So Gutierrez is going to have to do some of that driver stuff to hang on to this 3rd place, I think. The clock is ticking. So what does the gap look like on the straight? It's not closing any here. Does it close in the turns? Let's say Gutierrez seems to be able to hold it through this section of the track. And where he closes it down, I believe, is going to be on the 2 straights, Blancmont and the Kemmel in sector 1. So let's see. See, it's now coming down a little bit. Maintaining. But here we are heading into Le Palfière and the Blancmont back straight. So let's see if that gap comes down at all. It's actually growing. So good on Gutierrez. Stretching it out a little bit. All right, while that gap has stretched, I'm going to check back with Ollie because he's caught High Tree. The gap is under 2 seconds. And we're only at the 15+ minute mark. So High Tree's going to have to do some fancy driving here to hang on to this spot because Ollie is coming like a freight train. So let's see what happens at the bus stop here. Get that gap just shut down. Into La Source. This could be the lap. Ollie spells blood in the water. High Tree, good job of getting out of the head. A really good exit. So you get through La Source, El Rouge, and now the Kemmel Straight. This could be where it happens. High Tree's got some really good top end speed here though. Doesn't seem to be able to catch him there. So hit your apexes, Mark. Don't be watching those mirrors. So this is where Ollie, he's going to get him. He's just going to get him. There he goes. High tree just kind of lets him through. I mean, probably wise. He's realized he's probably outpaced during this section, so why fight it? So there is your new 6th place driver, RG Karjalate. I give up. Meanwhile, Westy's 20-second lead and just slowly growing. Shepard, 2nd place, got 20 seconds on Maddie, or on Gutierrez. And Gutierrez seems to stretch that lead to Taylor, so I'm thinking Taylor probably spent what he had trying to catch him, and either that or he had it off. Because the gap that was under 2 seconds is now 6. So he either got it all wrong somewhere along the line there, or he spent what he had trying to catch Johnny. Because you can't even, that's a 6-second gap. You can't even see him. He's long gone. So anyway, Hard Tree. Oh, staying with you. We got some issues here. We got lap cars. We got these guys getting through Pilcher. So Pilcher, trying to let it through there. Got a little bit of lag on High Tree there, you can see, which is really odd because this server is closer to both High Tree and myself, being in the U.S. I believe this is a little bit closer server. And there is Taylor. And here is Pilcher. Pilcher doing a good job today, hanging in there. Mr. Steady, he's going to get himself some points. He's currently in 9th. He's probably going to finish that way, as he's got 120 seconds if he needs to get a spot up. But then we got Andrew Harper back here, who's just about a lap behind Andrew. Is a lap off. So, but indeed, it's a finisher today. Going to be a finisher as long as nothing happens at this point. So good on that. But meanwhile, Ollie's got another victim ahead, and it is the Mazda Racing of John Vandergeest. So Ollie's just blistering his way through the field. Has yet got another victim in his sights. So does Vandergeest have anything left in the tank to throw some defense on the charging Ollie? Now remember, these two have a little bit of a relationship from the first 10 minutes of this race. It was Vandergeest shutting the door on Ollie as he was drinking some pretty aggressive maneuvers trying to get around. Vandergeest was not having any of it and just shutting the door on in a very racy way. There was nothing bad going on there. It's just if you're going to challenge, you got to be prepared to have the door shut. And which indeed Vandergeest did, but I don't know if Vandergeest has anything for the hard charge on Ollie, who is on fresher tires with that late stop, which is a 2-stopper for Ollie. And Vandergeest might be on a 1-stop trying to make it last because he's got him now. This is it, man. Is it worth it? I don't know. I don't see any way to hold him off at this point in time. I just say let him go, lick your wounds, and hang on to your will be 6th position. Let's not end it all in a pile of rubble as he gets around and does indeed get through. As Vandergeest, Vandergeest is not going to be too happy about that, the way he got through, but he did get through. So Kajara Latte, or however the heavens Sabeti you say it, Ollie is what I'm saying, it's easier, has got himself up into 5th position, and there is Vandergeest licking his wounds back there. I'm sure he's not too happy about that. And High Tree now having a look at Vandergeest. So is Vandergeest running on borrowed time here with his tires? It could be the case. We are hit the 10-minute mark. Let's see if High Tree's got anything for Vandergeest. Oh, Vandergeest! What in the heavens to Betsy happened there? So Vandergeest puts himself in the wall. It's these curbs. I'm telling you, these high curbs are deadly. And that lets High Tree slip by. So up a spot for High Tree. So he's back where he was before Ollie got him. And Vandergeest just having some issues back there. Just Vandergeest got it all wrong up there again. In through that Lacombe, Brussels, and Wuhan section. Just taking a beating up there. So I think it's survival mode for Vandergeest at this point. He's just got to bring it home from now. Just bring it home. Licking your wounds. How far back is Costas? Look at this. Costas who on his two-stopper. He's only 5 seconds off of Vandergeest too. So with the last 8 minutes of this race, Vandergeest excuse me, is going to have to do some hanging on. Because the gap is only 5 seconds. And let's see how the gap is closing. You see that 6, we can watch the numbers. Sketch through El Rouge. And let's see if that comes down at all from 6.4, 6.3. It's slowly coming down. I can't see Vandergeest up there yet. But he's up there. Ah, and here we got Mr. Overheat. That's right. He's so if he is going to make an effort, well, our only MRG racer today, and he really made a good show of it, really hanging in there tough. Kaler, some 14 seconds behind Johnny. Johnny's pretty much secure on the podium at this point in time. There's Matty Shepard in second. He's got 15 seconds to catch the leader. And meanwhile, Vandergeest man, John regaining himself here. He might have something for High Tree. It's only a 4-second gap, 3.5. So he might have something to say here towards the end of this. We're down to the last 7 minutes. So 2, 4, 6, about 3 laps. 3.5 laps. Maybe 4, depending on when the leader crosses the line. And this race will be in the books. So meanwhile, Costas, there he is. He's closing down to 3 seconds. Oh man, you know Vandergeest sees him in his mirrors now. It's like, oh boy, here we go. So meanwhile, up to 5th position, Ollie. Got 5 seconds on High Tree, but I think he's well back of Taylor. So High Tree holding that 3 second gap, 4 seconds to Vandergeest. But Vandergeest has a whole mirror full of Costas coming through here. You can see from Costas' point of view, there is John Vandergeest up there, the 7th place car, and that gap is coming down. So I think Vandergeest is in hold on mode, just trying to get that baby home. See what he can do. It's been a good run for him. Vandergeest has had some bum luck in this series. He's had the pace. He's just had some bum luck. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know, but that's racing. As you can see, the gap coming down now to 3 seconds. Woo! We're gonna coming up. Where is the leader lap-wise? Let's see. Okay, so he's up in the. He looks like he's coming down through Brussels and heading into Wuhan. Yeah, okay. So with 5 minutes left, he's in sector 1. So High Tree currently in 6th. Pretty good gap on Vandergeest, but Costas, he's there now. Costas has caught him. As they're coming through Blancmont. It's under a second. So Vandergeest coming to deal with the inevitable. Oh, this could be it for this position. Vandergeest coming on. He's currently 7th. He was able to maintain through La Source, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it up the hill. Unless, of course, this motor could very well blow at any time. You know he's going to have the screws to it here. Good top end speed though for Vandergeest in the Mazda. Not allowing him to close too much there, but this is where it's going to hurt. Oh, and that really hurts as Vandergeest gets it all wrong again. Man, he's had a tough break. I'm telling you, he's just had a tough luck right in there. Now he's missing some body parts. Oh, John. Man, he has just, Lacombe has just owned Vandergeest all day. Tough break for John. I mean, he can nurse it home. He's going to get through, I think. I think he's going to be okay if he just hangs on. Because Pilcher's a lap down. He's going to get 8th place. We are going to be on the final lap here coming up. But, man, what a tough break for Vandergeest. Yes, that part of the track just ate him alive all day. So, man, whew, I don't know what to say. Anyway, here is the 4th place car of Taylor. There is the 3rd place car of Gutierrez. As Shepard got that gap down to 10 seconds on Westy, but he's got about a lap left to do it as we are closing in on the end of this epic adventure at Spa today. Round 5, holy smokes. It's been quite the battle, man. And, you know, Spa itself has won most of these battles. As we've got, what, 7 DNFs now? 6 DNFs? Just brutal running. There is your leader, Westy. He's gotten through the lappers. That's Andrew Harper there that he's just gotten through. As Harper's taking the scenic route. Come on through. There you go, Andrew. Holy smokes. I was hoping he was going to pop up through there. We don't need any more DNFs. All right. So this will be the beginning of the end as Mr. Nick Westy, your current championship leader and race leader, starts the final lap of this round 5. Through the source there. Here is Matty Shepard in 2nd. I mean, not too bad. Good job, Matty, kind of keeping in almost in the same zip code there. He's closed that gap to 7/8 seconds. So that's telling me Westy's been taking it easy and Matty's been pushing because it had quite the gap. So Gutierrez, we got the battle for Hightree and Costas. Here we go. So Hightree trying to hold on to 6th. Is he going to be able to do it? Costas putting the screws to him. Oh, he's got the inside, but he's out of the spot for the apex. So Hightree hanging on. I don't know. Hightree's got his work cut out for him because they're going to have to go an entire lap. He's going to have to keep him behind him the entire lap. And I just don't think he's got the juice to take it. Unless, of course, Costas has spent everything he had getting where he is now. But Hightree trying to hang on to that precious points playing position of 6th. It's a big difference in points. Hightree does a good job on the straights. Able to hold that gap. Very nicely done. But the battle's going to be in Sector 1 here is when they start the last lap. If he can hold him off through La Source and up into Le Rouge, heading into that Lecombes, that's the spot where Costas has been so aggressive and so quick. So they get through La Source, a little kiss on the wall there by Hightree. And let's see if he can keep him behind him. But remember, he's got that overheat issue. So I think Hightree will be okay through here, but it's at Lecombes is where Costas might be able to get him. I don't know though. Look at this top speed. The race is quick. Westy, did Westy cross the line? He did. There's your winner, Rainless winner, Nick Westy. Matty Shepard coming in behind. They're 2nd place. But we got to watch this battle here. This is the pass. He did get him. Okay. Sorry, fans. We had to watch the leaders cross as Hightree just got gave up the position to Costas. He's had a brilliant run for the MRG guys. He's going to finish in 6th place, barring any incidents. Gutierrez coming here. He's going to take it for 3rd. Shepard is already done. Shepard's in 2nd. Gutierrez, there's your 3rd place card, Gutierrez. Coming to the bus stop for the last time. Taking 3rd position. Nice job, Mr. Gutierrez, getting a 3rd place position with his hard tire strategy. So 4th, Taylor's going to finish 4th. But meanwhile, this is Ollie. Ollie had quite the eventful race today. He is by himself in 5th place. You see, it's a huge gap there. So he's going to finish there. But is there anything left with High Tree and Costas? High Tree, is he running away from him? Yeah, he's pretty much running away. All right. I was going to see if Costas, puts a tire off and gives it back, but it looks like this is the way it's going to finish. So Taylor, there he is, taking 4th position. Nice run today. And here comes Ollie after all his bumps and bruises and repaired double stop body damage. He ends up in 5th spot. Very nice run today. Aggressive, but a good finish. Costas is going to finish in 6th. Crossing the line in 6th is Costas, and good job by Flying Crowbar. Mark Hightree finishing in that 7th spot. Vandergeest is going to nurse it home. Vandergeest is going to take a Pilcher taking 9th. Wow. So, good run for Nick Westy, just adding to his championship points. I think that is going to put this championship in the box for him. Maddie Shepard, good run for her. Johnny Gutierrez for Flying Crowbar Racing, taking 3rd and 7th today. So, good team racing. And great job by Costas for MRG, taking that 6th place. Really, really good race today, everybody. So, wow. Let's see what I can find here. Where are these results? Session results. I want the race. Race run, session results. This should show us what's up. There we go. There is your winner, Nick Westy. 42 intense laps. Maddie Shepard in 2nd place. Johnny Gutierrez in 3rd. Robin Taylor bringing up 4th. Ali in 5th. Costas in 6th. And High Tree bringing up 7th. Vandergeest in 8th. Tough run. Philip Pilcher in the Merc, finishing 9th. And Andrew Harper in 10th. And everybody else had a bad day. These are the DNFs. Look at that. Tony Talvitier, one of our top runners. Caitlin Penny, another great, one of our great drivers, had opportunities, but not today for these guys. And sorry to see Ted get out so early. He had it was his first race with us. I'm wishing he could have made it a little longer. However, that wasn't the case. So, with all that said and done, that is the finish. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. It's been an eventful race, and I look forward to finishing up this championship in 2 weeks. We will be racing round 6 in Mexico. Se habla español in Mexico. I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.